We just got done brewing a beer on my Tank Trio Brewhouse. Now, I'm gonna show you how I clean this thing. In this video, I'll show you all the steps I take to clean this brewhouse, as well as some tips and tricks I found to make this process fast and easy. Let's get to work. First things first, the mash tun. And once I've transferred all the wort over to the boil kettle, I like to let the residual liquid drain off from the grain while I'm boiling. It flows directly down here through this tubing and down to my second pump. If you're interested, I have a full tour video on my channel that shows how my entire system is set up and how I move fluid throughout the brew house. I'll put a link to that video down in the description. Okay, so when draining my mash tun, I keep this dump valve open to allow that extra liquid to collect in a small bucket while I finish up the brew day. And once most of that liquid is out, I'll open up the mash tun and shovel out the grain. I've got most of the grain out. Now I'm going to pull out the false bottom and rinse out the mash tun. Now for the boil kettle. After I finish transferring the wort out to my fermenter, I'll open up the drain valve on the boil kettle and give it a quick rinse. Okay, everything has been rinsed. I'm now going to add my hop spider to my mash tun. I'm basically just using this as a filter to help catch any last bits of grain that are left in the system. And this will help prevent clogging the very small slits in my spray ball when I connect that in a few minutes. If you haven't already, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss future videos. The cleaning process I'm using is called CIP, which stands for Clean in Place. This is a semi-automatic way to clean and allows you to leave all your tubing connected while you recirculate cleaner throughout the system. I'm now going to heat up the water that I'll use for the CIP. This is 2 gallons of water that I'm going to heat to 150 degrees. I'll be using my rim system to heat the water, which is located down here under the mash tun. All right, the water has been heated. I'm now going to install my spray ball into the whirlpool port on my boil kettle. And then I'll add in my brewery wash. I'll recirculate this through the entire system for about 20 to 30 minutes. The CIP cycle is done. I'm now going to drain the cleaning solution from the system and do a quick rinse. Now, I'm adding another 2 gallons of water to the system, and I'm gonna heat this to 180 degrees to give everything a thorough rinse for about 10 minutes. We are almost done. I'm draining off the rinse water, and I'm gonna use a towel to dry out the main surfaces just to help avoid any water spots. I also like to use the stainless steel polish to keep everything nice and shiny. Last but not least, I'm gonna disconnect my silicone tubing as well as the main tubing sections throughout the brew house so that everything can air dry. So that's how I CIP my brew house and keep this thing nice and clean. If you have any questions about my process or maybe even some tips for me to improve on my process, let me know down in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.